the start of the third quarter, you guys ran that same play like 10 times for DeMar, and he had mentioned just to us that he had brought that up. But what did you like about that action, kind of what it generates for you guys?
It's hard to defend, especially when you got a guy like him, because it puts him in a sweet spot. But he has a choice based on how the defense plays him. So if the defense takes this away, he just goes the other way. But if they take that away, he goes back the other way. And he doesn't have to dribble the ball, so he's getting to his sweet spot without having to work and bring the ball up the floor. You know, and every once in a while, if he has it in transition, he can to get to a sweet spot and play pick and roll. But sometimes it's a lot of work because you have a defender up in you, turning you. Now when you get to your sweet spot, you've already been turned 6-7 times, and now you got to still go score the ball. And this way, again, he's got choices. If they take this away, he goes the other way. If they take that away, he goes the other way. And he's right in this spot without doing any work. And, you know, in the first half, I didn't feel like he had a great rhythm offensively. And so at halftime, one of the things we always talk about, you know, as coaches after players go out, was, hey, what's the first play? And somebody had said, hey, you know what, let's try to get DeMar going, and let's run one of the plays for him, which he has a choice, but he doesn't have to do much work before he catches the ball. And that's what we went with, and it worked. And, you know, they started trying to take certain things away from the initial entry of the play, and we have a couple of counters that we adjusted to, running the same ending result where he still had choices, but trying to enter the play a little bit different to combat them from stopping us entering the play.
Obviously, Brown, what are you seeing, you know, from this playmaking that was going on in that starting five? Because DeMar had 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Of course, you know, with his 12 assists, and De'Aaron, you know, made some playmaking plays down there as well. But it just seemed like it's a different dynamic when you got 3 playmakers out there and they're all doing different things.
You know, I mean, you said it. They all can shoot, they can all dribble, and they can all pass. And they're confident with their ability to pass, which is probably 80% of what you need to be able to have out there in order to be a pretty good passer. And, you know, it's a luxury that we're able to have those 3 guys, because you could put the ball in his hands, including Domus's hands too, and know that they're going to probably make the right play 95% of the time, whether it's off the dribble or off of a live dribble. And it's just a testament to those guys' ability to be complete or all-around offensive players instead of just a catch-and-shoot guy, or instead of a guy that can only drive to the rim and finish or whatever. Those guys have the luxury to do all 3 things, and it showed last night.
You mentioned a lot of pressure off Domas too, because that was the person that they were looking for as far as getting the ball to him.
100%. And you know, everybody, especially when teams switch and they see that there's a smaller guy on Domas, everybody's like, man, why can't you make that pass? That's a hard pass to make, because you have a smaller guy on Domas that has a quickness advantage, most likely. And if you don't throw the right pass, meaning putting the ball in the right spot when you throw it, that guy has a chance to get around and tap it or steal it. And so to have guys, whether it's in the pocket, in a pick and roll situation, Domus on the post, or a guy cutting, in transition, there's a little bit of traffic, the window closes like that. And so you have to have a feel of not only that you're confident with the pass and know where the pass is, but it's when that window's open, you got to deliver it without hesitation, because the window closed and now it's a turnover.
So DeMar's been in the league a long time, like a smart player, and I'm sure you've seen from the outside, but putting him in that read and react and just him figuring out the right moves throughout all that, just how impressive is his feel for the game and everybody else fitting around that too?
It's super impressive, because, you know, what also goes unnoticed or unspoken of is he scored a lot in that, or we scored a lot in that as a team. But think about the pace that he had. He wasn't in a hurry. And his pace, okay, not only was it good for the play, but it had a calming effect on us. You know, you just see him go at his, they wanted to speed us up. They wanted us to get going a little crazy. but he stayed the course with his pace. He dictated, he controlled the game without having the ball in his hands to start that play. Just with his pace and getting open, his pace and choosing which way he wanted to go, and then his pace when he caught the ball. There was nothing fast about it. There was nothing that they did to speed him up. It was all dictated by him, which helped us control the tempo of the game, which in essence gave us a little bit of confidence and belief during that stretch.
With you, funnily enough, I mean, you guys are a team that plays really fast, but how nice is it to have that other dynamic to be able to go to also on the half court?
It's awesome. And again, you always say, hey, play fast, but don't be in a hurry, or play fast, but don't play fast, but just go quick. You know, so we could still play fast, okay, but we don't always have to be in a hurry where we're putting ourselves in a tough position because we're playing too fast and missing opportunities as time goes on. And again, to be able to change the tempo with certain actions and certain players while still controlling the tempo helps you dictate what the pace and flow of the game is going to be, and that's what was happening during that time. And a lot was attributed to DeMar, but also I got to give the rest of our guys credit because they set screens. Domas especially when DeMar decided to come high.
Since you've been here, you know, teammates always talk about how there's another level that Fox gets to when he's pissed off. How much do you like seeing that out of him and how that other level maybe he gets to?
I love it, but I'm going to challenge you, De'Aaron Fox. You got to figure out how to get to that level without having somebody piss you off, because you're a great player, and great players get to that level on their own, whether it's finding somebody to piss them off or finding something else. Maybe there's a 5-year-old kid that has an opponent's jersey on and not yours. That should piss you off.
There's nothing you guys can do, right, as a team on your end.
What's that?
There's nothing you guys can do, coach, teammates on you guys.
There's some things that we could do.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to try to do it.
Okay.
But as a great player, you got to take that upon yourself more than worry about other things. Now, if other things come along, great.
Yeah.
But you got to figure that out. Which is what he's doing.
When you have a team like Houston that you just faced that obviously has that physical style, and you guys have that punch first mentality, how does that roll into Memphis, which kind of almost has that same thing?
Again, I've talked about our standards. You know, it's going to be loud on the road. They're probably going to be talking. We're going to have to communicate with each other. Even when we hit adverse situations, we're going to have to communicate. We're going to have to stay together because we're going to hit adverse situations. We're going to have to play for each other. But at the end of the day, it's about competing. And they do a hell of a job, like Houston, in competing every night that they're on the floor for 48 minutes. And if that's our standard and we truly believe it, then we'll do the same like we did last night.
Keon didn't play last night. Is he okay, or is it just a personnel aspect of what Houston were doing?
He's fine. I just chose not to play him last night. But he's fine. He's just got to stay ready like Doug, Colby, J-Mac, Orlando, Alex. And when his number's called, he's got to come in and he's got to perform.
Mike, tomorrow you're going to see Memphis for the first time.
What's that?
First time you're going to see Memphis this year, tomorrow night. Just how different are they with Ja now that I'm with them, and just what do they present to you guys?
By far, they're the best transition team in the league, and it's led by Ja. I always say Fox is the fastest guy in the league with the basketball, and he would be, right there probably with Fox. One of the things that he does that helps that team is he's got a relentlessness about him, where he wants the ball not most times, he wants that freaking ball every time. And he wants to push it down your throat every time. He's a fast twitch guy that wants to come at your neck. And in his mind, he thinks that mentality will force you to quit. So having said that, his team takes on that personality. especially in transition, because they know he's pushing it every time. And they know if they want easy buckets, they're going to run with him. So we got to do a hell of a job for 48 minutes with our defensive transition because he's coming.
Thanks, everyone.